Hello, everyone. Thank you for checking out this special episode of Really Dicey. This is Manny. I'm here with Peter. I'm here with Matt McCloud of Lurking Fears. And today we're going to talk about PAX Unplugged 2024, a brief description of what you should expect there, but most importantly, especially, is what Lurking Fears will be doing. And for those of you that don't know what Lurking Fears is exactly, and we've had Matt on this channel before, it's a group of very talented game masters that come to a lot of different conventions and play not just play all sorts of great games there, but they're great for new and old players to discover or try out their favorite role playing games. Am I correct about that, Matt?
Yeah, absolutely. We try to be the link between the publisher and the players. We want to introduce games to players and let them try them there. Game, especially games that are new on the scene, that players haven't tried yet, and they're like, I want to see what that's about. That's what we specialize in. We want to get new player involvement into gaming.
So, Matt, how you best describe PAX Unplugged?
PAX Unplugged. I mean, it's really the best of both worlds for us as far as conventions go. I mean, PAX itself is normally a video game con, but thanks to the connotation of the name PAX Unplugged, it's tabletop games, board games, card games, and especially our thing, RPGs, tabletop RPGs. So it's anything that doesn't have to, you don't have to hook into an HDMI cord and play a game, which we love. That's what we love to do. It's love being part about it. It's also a great networking con, and what conventions are supposed to be. It's supposed to be where these businesses that promote gamings in the industry can get together and come up with ideas, and to present their games to the people to try.
And PAX Unplugged is a great place to meet like representatives of your favorite companies like Paizo, Free League, Publishing, and all sorts. And also a great place to find out like a lot of local and independent publishers as well.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
um,
a lot of great ones there.
And is there anything like specific about this PAX that you're looking forward to?
That we're looking forward to specifically, we're going to unveil some new games that have never been seen before at PAX, and run them for players. So we're very excited about that. We've just been developing a better working experience with the people at PAX Unplugged. Kind of giving them the experience that we have running at conventions. About gaming conventions, kind of help them mold this convention into more experienced kind of framework like Origins and Gen Con have. So they've been taking cues from that, and they've been really great with that to work with us to be able to help bring a lot of fun new games coming out this year that we're looking forward to do.
yeah, so let's talk about what's Lurking Fear's plans for PAX Unplugged. You mentioned some new games, so I'm curious to hear what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, we got we're going to run a lot of free league games. Last year we ran basically just a free league room. Free league was able to utilize one of the game rooms at PAX Unplugged, made a negotiation with them to be able to have like a second point of sale in that game room, other than outside of just the exhibit hall. And so that game room was just exclusively free league. So we ran everything really. We ran Alien, we ran Blade Runner, we ran the One Ring, which was new that year, and The Walking Dead, which was new that year. Uh, had a lot of fun running all that. But this year we were having a pretty much kind of open game room where we're running games from all the different publishers we like to work with, like not only Free League, but of course the Arcane Library, which made a huge splash at Gen Con with all the Ennies that it wanted. In Con swept the Ennies basically in every category that they had. Um, uh, Two Little Mice with their game Outgun, Chaosium, Monolith, which is a newer publisher coming into the tabletop RPG. They normally do board games, but we're running a lot of games from those publishers. Whole list of games. I mean, we're running like Dragonbane, Alien, Basin, Blade Runner, going down through the list. Mork Borg from Free League. Then Shadow Dark, we're running for the Arcane Library, of course. Outgunned is that new game from the two little mice. It's basically like every fast-paced gun crazy action movie you've ever seen is in
Yeah.
an RPG. Then Chaosium, we're really happy to be working with Chaosium due to Call of Cthulhu and Pendragon games there. And then Monolith, yeah, the new people on the scene. We're really excited. We're going to be running the new Batman RPG based on the Batman board game Gotham City Chronicles. They developed an RPG out of it, and we're really excited about running that. I've been playtesting it. Actually, I'm playtesting again this evening.
Okay.
Super excited about that.
Mhm.
Then just a bunch of other games, and then again, like the small publishers too. That indie publishers like Wet Ink Games. We're running Home and Never Going Home, stuff like that. They're games that they love having at conventions, and they'll be there too at the exhibit hall.
Anything you're excited about specifically? Like this is the thing that you want people to see.
Honestly, the Batman. I want people to try the Batman and see what it's like. It's going to be really fun. Um, it lets you play. You could play like a cop. You could play a vigilante like Batman or Robin. You can play a low-powered kind of like superhero with actual powers. Nothing you can't. They don't have it geared for like running in there with like Superman or Wonder Woman or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you can run around with some metahuman abilities. Um, it's really fun from what I looked at it. It's a plays a lot like 5e,
Mm-hmm.
but with some really fun superhero sprinkles in that allows you to do some really extraordinary things. I love the look of it. The artwork is fantastic. The stuff that they have for it, they're combining it with like their miniatures, the board game line, like so you can use like the miniatures and maps from the board game to incorporate that into the RPG. So instead of having like the dungeon with the miniatures and like a D&D game, you can use the miniatures from like the board game and have them represented on the board to be able to play with your character sheet. I love the idea of that. So it's going to be really fun showing people how they can, not only play Batman the RPG, but also bring in their stuff that they might have just gotten from the board game and be able to use it in two different ways: the board game and in the RPG.
Mm.
That sounds excellent. Actually, when you said Batman, even before I asked the question, I was excited about that. So
Yeah,
I'm glad to see that you're excited about it also.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the brand new toy. It's the brand new toy, brand new shiny toy. They sent me
Mhm.
several boxes of all kinds of stuff, and I was like, I called it Batmas. It was Christmas with Batmas because like I was unwrapping all this stuff, just giggling like a little kid,
I like
just
that.
super excited. Yeah, I call it Batmas.
Mhm.
So and then also we're be able to run Chaosium's games, Call of Cthulhu and Pendragon, and then Shadow Dark has just become such a huge hit with the Arcane Library. Running that game, it's very old school, very grim. Your chances of survival are not great. It's let's go in the dungeon, but let's do it smart because you can die really quick by making bad choices. Uh, I love the idea of that. We've got some really nice, two nice scenarios set up for that. One in like a jungle themed dungeon, and the other in like a pyramid themed dungeon. Uh, those look super fun. We started running those at GamehoCon about about a month ago, a little over a month ago, and
Mhm.
had a blast doing it there. So we're super excited to bring those newer scenarios again to PAX Unplugged. Just all the games that we have, I've played all of them to one
Mhm.
extent or another. I love all of them. Super excited for anybody that gets a chance to sit at the table and play with us.
But
Mm.
Batman's a star.
For me, Batman's Star. It's the new game. It's the new shiny.
So I guess you know which game we're gonna be checking out when we're
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a table, at least one table dedicated to it throughout the con. It's gonna be running 2 hour games around the clock. Um, so yeah, and then we're going to be doing our registration a little differently from the PAX Nav Unplugged. I'm sure you guys probably want to know about that.
Mm.
Mhm.
Um, we're going to be doing our registration through Warhorn to be able to allow everyone to have like we feel is like a more fair chance to get into the games. The PAX Nav app, it works great. When it works, it's just like any technology. But the thing was, is like you had to just like register at like 8 a.m. the day of the game, if I'm not
Mm.
mistaken. And the chances of you got to be up and up and ready to roll and get going like that day of the game to register. And it was too easy for people to just click off, you
Mhm.
know, and then there's a bunch of you know seats that they're not going to be in, obviously, because they're in another game that they've already picked. You know, so we had a lot of like people that got a seat, a ticket or a seat, but didn't show.
Mm.
So we utilized like a standby line big time last year for that to be able to go. Yeah, these people are not showing up. Come on, we'll get you in. This we're going to do on Warhorn. We're going to launch it the first, December 1st, and everybody can go in and get the ticket to any game, any day, any time on December 1st, and we'll be announcing it on like the PAX Facebook page and on our page and stuff like that, so people can know. But yeah, you heard it here
Mhm.
on really nicely that that's how we're going to do our registration, a little different,
Mhm.
to be a little more homogenous and like how everybody can pick their game.
I'm glad to hear that you're doing that. That you're taking into consideration like more fair selection. But I mean,
Hmm.
I'm in tech, and so like anytime you see like something that does not that basically isn't like fair because of just the way that it works or whatnot.
Yeah.
Anytime you see folks that say like, okay, yeah, we need like a new system, where I'm always excited to see that. So I'm glad that you guys are doing that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Warhorn is an older system to be sure, but it works. It's going
Right,
to work for this scale.
right.
That we're doing. It's
Hmm.
fairly small scale. I mean, we're only running uh, a couple hundred games, which isn't a huge stretch for Warhorn to do anyway. But the fact that that we're going to be able to have like the one open day, kind of like what you would have at Origins of Gen Con, where it's like, okay, the games are going to be open such and such time, such day. Everybody go in and can get the spot, rather than we're going to do it the day of that day of the game.
Uh-huh.
So make sure that you're up and you're not wore out from gaming the night before to clock in and get the games. Yeah, and I believe there's a factor in the Warhorde games to where if you go to pick a game at one time and pick a game at the second time, it's going to tell you, no, no, you've already picked a game at this time. So you can't.
Gotcha.
It allows you to allows that to be allows you to where like players can't just go, and then we got a bunch of empty seats, So
Right, right.
yeah,
Hmm. So you mentioned real fast Monolith Games. Uh,
yeah.
I don't know if I'm assuming correctly, but is that Conan you're speaking of?
100%. Yeah, they wanted us to bring some Conan games after the Kickstarter had such a big, huge thing. We have absolutely no room. We have 14 tables, just completely jam packed. We started with 10,
Hmm.
and that was all we are going to have. And then we're like, can we have two more to get Monolith Games in there? And they're like, yeah. And then we like, can we have two more so we can get Chaosium games in there? And they're like, well, you can have this other little side room, which is right next to it, to put those four tables in. We're like, oh, thank you. But yeah, we are absolutely jam packed, and we're like, man, we wish we could get some Conan games in there, but we can't. We're going to be running those though at GaryCon. Really excited to be running that at GaryCon for them. But yeah, that huge Kickstarter was massive. It and I don't know if you've seen the Quick Start. The Quick Start has all the feel for me of a Robert E. Howard, type scenario.
Oh yeah,
Very,
I'm all about
very,
that.
very swords and sorcery kind of a deal. I dig it. I like
Yeah,
it. I like the
yeah.
feel of it.
Hmm. That's
So
good.
so for anyone that wants to when they go to PAX Unplugged and find Lurking Fears and find all these games, is there how easy is it to find this section?
Not hard. We're going to have some banners out in the hall to kind of direct us, but we're going to be in the RPG area. There is like, I think it's the middle building. Yeah, the middle building. You have the three buildings of the convention center, basically the main three buildings. But we're going to be like the middle building where the RPGs are. but we're going to be in room 111, in that area, in that game room area. If I'm not mistaken, it's not too far from where you walk in from registration anyway, to get your badges and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, we'll be right in that middle room, in that middle building, like over towards the registration building side.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, is there anything else that Lurking Fears is planning to do there besides run games?
Yeah, we're going to be actually manning a booth at PAX Unplugged. We worked out a deal with Free League, just due to our close partnership with them that we've had and enjoyed over the past couple of years, to be able to run their booth. We started running it in Origins. It was very spur of the moment kind of a thing. They ran into um, some trouble trying to get that schedule and get that organized. And we're like, we're already there. We have experienced people that know sales. Why don't
Hmm.
you just let us do it? And they're like, why not? And it's turned out to be a really great thing. So um, it's allowed us to be able to not only run games at the booth, but be run games in the game room, but also able to be able to sell the free league games at the booth, and be able to be have a presence at a lot more cons than we normally would have, because we can be there at all these other various cons, and from the free league booth be able to determine, is this con a good market to open up a Lurking Fears game room.
Does it feel good that not only are you like playing games there, but you're introducing like a new audience to a whole new world of gaming? Uh,
That's exactly. I feel like I'm on cloud nine. I'm going to do doing the best of both worlds. I mean, it's really great. Not only do I get to run games, but I get to show people for the first time a new game, or a game that they haven't considered playing yet. Um, and be able to show them all the bells and whistles of it and how great it is. I absolutely love that. I mean, it's kind of what I founded Looking Fears on, to in the first place, because there's all these great RPGs out there that nobody really gets the chance to play, because either they're in their D&D phase, and that's all they run, and all they know, and that's fine. But there's all these other colors in the rainbow for them to try, and to see them try for the first time, especially kids. Watching kids play these games for the first time, and see their eyes open up to the possibilities they can do. That's why I made the group. I want people to be able to try these games with a professional GM that's practiced and knows what they do, to be able to bring the game to them in the best way possible, so they can experience it, for the first time, in the best way possible.
What comes after PAX Unplugged? What do you guys have planned?
We've got a small local con that we're going to be doing right in January, right, right in a few weeks after, um,
Hmm.
and then we'll be back up at Page Two, Philadelphia Area Gaming Expo. I think that's the latter part of January.
Okay.
But we're just going to be a small scouting party. It's just going to be me and another guy. We're going to be up there just kind of trolling around and talking to GMs and talking to people, and looking at the place. Um, our next big con that we're going to be at will be Gary Con. Um, uh, that's in March. Yeah,
Hmm.
March. Then of course we have plans to be at Chaosium Con, then Origins, Gen Con, the whole start through the whole year again, uh, with all the different cons we're looking at. I think the last looked at the list, either either representing Free League at the booth, or as a running a game, we're looking at somewhere between 22 and 23 conventions we're going to be at next year. It's nuts. It's
Right.
absolutely nuts. But we're going to be at a lot of different ones. But
Hmm.
yeah, you could be looking for us early in the year at, Page Two, Gary Con, and then be looking us forward more into uh, Origins, Gen Con, stuff like that.
Sounds good.
mm.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Lurking Fears has a website of their convention dates, right?
Absolutely. I need to update that for the 2026 list too. But yeah, and we need to differentiate it also as well as what conventions we're going to be there, as a game room, and then also as representatives of Free League, at the booth. But yeah, I'll need to update that. But yeah, it's www.lurkingfears.com. But we have that. The different publishers that we work with, our player code of conduct, our GM code of conduct. We that's blasted everywhere
Mm-hmm.
on their page. We really believe in that. We have a very open table policy. Everyone is welcome at a Lurking Fears table, um, and be respectful and enjoy the game. That's
Yeah.
what we're here for. Leave the outside world in the outside world.
Mm-hmm.
Come and sit at a table and enjoy a good game. That's what we strive to do. Uh, and then also, if you're ever interested in being a GM, we're always looking for great GMs that we will vet and have as a representative. And at some of these games, running games for great publishers, you get all kinds of great perks. You'll get the game materials itself. Usually, we will at the very least get you a badge and free badge at the con. And then depending on how many games you want to run, we can get you like a hotel room share or something like that, help you with some of your
Okay.
travel expenses.
Awesome.
Oh, one last thing. Do you know if Lurking Fears is in the PAX app that they have?
Yeah. Any games that you see Lurking Fears, I think mini adventures or short adventures, and Lurking Fears presents the Lurking Fears. I think mini adventures or short. Those are our 2-hour games. Um, those would be the smaller, quicker games that we have. That's basically designed to show you the world that in a very small. This is how the game operates. This is how it functions. Um, that's what those games are for. Then we have our more in-depth 4-hour games. There's some games that you just need 4 hours. Your investigative games like Blade Runner, stuff like that. Um, you need a good 4-hour game, 4-hour session in there, and those will be called, I believe, Lurking Fears Presents. So if you see those in there, and it should show through there the entire list of games that we're going to run. I don't think they listed the Batman yet because we literally got that in last minute. Maybe Batman, maybe not. Either Batman or Chaosium. We're not sure. I
Mm-hmm.
can't remember off the top of my head which ones it's not listed in there. But then again, if you go to the Warhorn page that it directs you to, you'll see that full list of games, the entire schedule.
Well, Matt, thank you so much for sharing us some information about what Lurking Fears is planning to do at PAX Unplugged. I know Peter and I can't wait to get there and check out all those games. Viewers, I will put all the links, Lurking Fears website, Warhorn when it's available, and all that in the description below. Thank you for watching. Stay safe out there. We'll see you next time.
Take care,
Thanks.
folks.